Thank you once again for drifting in with me on my reflective birthday weekend. My partner and I have gone away to a little island on the coast. It's quiet, beautiful, and a little magical. It's my 32nd birthday today, and in amongst all the noise, the birthday, more than any other day, always feels like a reflection of the year, a reflection on who I am now, a reflection on who I'm becoming, what I'm chasing, what I'm striving towards, who I'd like to be. And I have quite often got it wrong in the past, quite often had moments where I missed the whole point, because this is the point. The point is turning up and doing the things that make you feel alive. The point is trying in whatever direction that takes you. The point is being true to yourself, even when it gets hard. And I built a new tradition this year. Last year, on this very same weekend, I created a video, a reflection of sorts, a place I can go back and see, feel, and understand where I was the year before. And looking back on that video a year later, a couple things stick out to me. But I'll get to that. In the meantime, sit back, grab a cuppa, and let's have a chat. G'day, my name's Tim. Thanks for tuning in. I know this channel is conventionally about writing and books and reading, but today I want to do something different. You see, it's my birthday weekend, and my birthdays nowadays are a little more low-key. We're in a cabin on a tiny coastal island. So there's some trees, there's some beautiful ocean behind me, bit of bird sound if I turn off the microphone here, and I'm appreciating it all and just taking it in after this morning's run. And you see, I started a birthday tradition last year. I made a video titled Birthday Reflection, and I put it out into the world. What I didn't realize then that I'm appreciating right now is that I got to go back and watch that video and reflect on my reflection, which is a weird duality. I want to show you a little clip of that now because I felt like it was relevant, and I'm going to get a little bit further into where I'm at in just a moment here. But I think it's really cool to look back on your life in snippets, in time pockets, in periods. And for a long period of my life, it was all internal, and now it's both internal and external. I find birthdays really reflective, really introspective, really at times both challenging, but at times really joyous. And I'm trying to get a little bit better with that. I've got the last decade of my life in the way that I've wanted to do it. There's not many things I would change, and the things I would change, I'm going to keep pretty private. But when I look back on the last decade, I'm proud of what that 20-year-old kid managed to turn his life into. I'm immensely stoked on being able to be here and do this and live this life. I wish I could just go back 10 years and live it once more and have those moments again. Wouldn't change anything, would just be a fly on the wall. Because even those mistakes, they have led me to being the person I am. And I think that is a significant privilege to have that point of view. So thank you for being... It's incredible to go back and take in that moment of being appreciative for the last decade and the time that we've been given. It's immensely beautiful to go back and relive some of those moments with that younger version of me, knowing what I know now. This last year has been full of challenges, full of ups and downs, full of injury, dislocating my shoulder twice, full of being really uncertain on myself and my direction, full of being homesick in a way that I didn't know was possible. And through all of that, there has been really beautiful moments within my relationship, within working in a beautiful bookstore, within creating and running and being and spending time with my friends and family and out in the world. My biggest challenge this year has been wanting to quit as an artist and not do this anymore. I don't want this to be a business. I don't want to be ruled by algorithms and AI and those components that come together. I want it to be organically myself. And this year, particularly the last 6 months, I've questioned that in a way that I've never questioned it before. I've questioned if I should be doing it. I've questioned if this is just a giant waste of time. I've questioned if I actually have to do it or not. I've quit as an artist before. I've quit as a writer before and put down the pen, and I've always been drawn back in. But this time, for the first time in a really long time, felt like I wasn't going to get drawn back in, even though I was still doing it, even though I was still turning up. And a couple weekends ago, I went away and did like a solo writing retreat, and I remembered why I was doing it. And I remembered that it makes me feel alive, and it burns in my chest, and it ignites my existence. But that doesn't mean that it's not hard. And I feel like I've been banging my head against a brick wall for the last few months here, trying to make something stick, trying to make it feel a particular way. And as I was talking to my partner about it yesterday, and I was reflecting on it and thinking about it, I just realized how young I am and how fortunate I am and how lucky I am to even be in the position to do this and be in a position where I feel like I can film myself and put it on the internet, and that I can write and share it, and I can create because I have to create. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want to try this for another year and check in next year and see where I'm feeling with it, see where I'm at, see how I'm showing up and turning up as an artist, as a creative, as a human being. I feel like my ambitions are getting loftier. I feel like my drive is ticking back slowly after having a period of my life where I was healing. I recently watched the Noah Kahan documentary, and he talks about in this documentary that if he heals, he doesn't feel like he'll be the same artist. And I have definitely felt a part of that and a bit of that throughout this journey of trying to get to a better place as a human. I feel like if I remove some of that pain and some of those moments that tormented me, that I won't be able to create from this raw emotional place in the same manner that I have for a large portion of my life. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I am afraid of that. I am afraid of not continuing, of giving up. I'm failing on a daily basis, and that's okay. I'm okay with failing. But perhaps what I'm not okay with is forever failing. And then funnily enough, I'm knocked back into my reality and my world, and I just forget at times how fortunate I am to have a house and home with somebody that I love on the other side of the world, living a life that once upon a time I never felt like was achievable, creating on a weekly basis, sharing myself on a weekly basis, trying to get better, moving in the direction of trying, even though it could be the wrong direction. I feel fortunate for the last decade, as that younger me said, that one that was afraid of everything. If I was to go back and look on my life, I'm almost proud of it, and I'm happy that it's happened in the way that it's happened. Nothing goes in this perfect direction, and I'm okay that it's been messy. And this year has been trying to embrace a little bit more of that mess, trying to take away the perfection element and be more imperfect. Try to realize that failing is part of all of it. Swallowing my pride and asking for help when I need it. And I want to let you in on a little story. As a young person, I was not able to envision a future for myself. I was freshly 18, and people were asking me what I wanted to do with my life. And I didn't think I would make anything of myself. I didn't think I would ever be happy. And at the time I was rather miserable, and I didn't receive a university offer until the 5th round, which I deferred for a year. I didn't have a picture of how I was going to make money. I didn't have a picture of how I was going to make new friends. I didn't even have an idea of how I was going to make it through the next day. And we're now looking down the barrel of 14 years later. And I've worked as a teacher, and I've worked in disability support, outdoor education, and in bookstores, and in random jobs around the world. I've been paid to do things that I love, and I've been paid to do things that I hate. And 14 years later, if you would have told that kid what we know now, then he would have scoffed at you. He would have laughed. He wouldn't have even wanted to talk. You see, I was starting from a place of being so far out that anything up was a positive. And I would like to think that I've made the 8-year-old version of me proud and the 18-year-old version of me proud, sitting here, living my life in the way that I'm living it, on my terms, with my values. If I was to share that with an 18-year-old me, I think he'd be pretty happy, man. And I think that's the perspective that I would like to have going into the next year. Everything is gravy, man. And I know this isn't my conventional video, but I would like to hope that you get something out of this message. Just a way to reflect on your own life, a step forward in the right direction, a step backwards to regain some control. Embrace that mess. Just try, because at the end of the day, what do you have to lose? And I know that I am in an incredibly fortunate position to be in the position that I am, living the life that I'm living, doing all of this. I started the morning with a run. We're going to have some coffee now. We're going to head out and play a round of Frisbee golf on the 17th best Frisbee golf course in the world. I'm surrounded by trees and ocean, and the sun is out, and I'm soaking it in. I wrote a little something earlier this week that I just wanted to share before I finish this video. I've been writing, running, creating, and simply soaking it in. Someone once told me to appreciate the climb, because if you are ever fortunate enough to quote unquote make it, you will never get the climb again. And there are days in which being an artist feels crushing. The self-doubt creeps in, then settles. Everything is telling you to quit. And yet, if you keep going for just long enough, the self-doubt fades temporarily, and you remember why you do this. Because we simply can't not. What a life, hey? Appreciative of it all until the wheels fall off. I'm sharing this with you in the hopes that it can make you feel a little bit more connected, a little bit closer to yourself, and maybe think about things a little bit differently. And I'm sharing this for a future version of myself who will one day watch this video and smile. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, look after yourself and look after one another.